It's been rumoured that Kavanagh is going to go for the course record. He's got the likes of Adidas, who I haven't seen yet, to contend with Joe Wigfield, a man with some serious range. Talk about speed, this guy has it in abundance. 146 over 800 metres. This is lifetime best, 147 on the weekend. So off they go then. 2025 Podium Under Lights gets underway. It's a special time of year. It's a permanent fixture now for these athletes. They know at the end of February, can they pick up some prize money? And can they take home a shiny new PB and eat up onto us? Straight away, these men, we know that first K or so is always fast. They get right up to that bandstand, 266 metres to the finish line. And then, of course, 2 laps from there. So, all settling down. A big pack up front, as you'd expect. Joe Wigfield, for me, is a little bit of a dark horse in this race. You know, he's took a stab at that European qualifying standard indoors, looked to compete over 800, and he has the balls, he has the audacity to come here and go, do you know what, I can do it over 5K as well. And I'm going to turn up and try and take this course record, because I think that's what it's going to take tonight. It really is. So, Sam Gebrselassie in up at the front. Actually just been speaking to his wife and Steve Gardner, Belgrave team manager, and reports to say that he wasn't feeling amazing, and his wife was quick to remind him that whenever he says that, it always goes well. So there you go. Gebrselassie up front, preparing for the marathon like so many in this field. And you really do get a mix of men, some coming off the back of the national cross country, some like Wigfield coming off the indoor season. Others have just pinpointed this and they've peaked straight up for this race. And then some like Gebrselassie, who have 26.2 miles in mind come April, in somewhat 10 weeks or so, 8 weeks time now. Almost to the day, in fact to the day. So, Finley Profit's in there. Look out for him. Ran very well. A lot of these men, quite a few in this field by the way, ran very, very well in Armagh. 13.56 Charlie Brisley, he's a man to look out for. But Gebrselassie, low 29 over 10k. A couple of weeks ago there was a 10k round here, and these men performed very, very well. So 289, I believe that is Profit. Moving smooth. Where's Kavanagh in this one? Joe Wigfield. Kavanagh sitting back. We know he likes to finish fast. Seifu Jamal's in there in the red. He's another one. 219 marathoner in Berlin from a few years ago. Really attacks that road racing scene in this country. So disappointing not to see Abdielmi. Rumour did say before, rumours flying around before the National Cross Country Championships, he was in fact injured. Hence why he didn't turn out for that one. And hence why he's not here tonight. So a large pack in this men's field. And to put it into perspective, Kavanagh, 13.35 in Armagh. And speaking to his coach, Neil Danby, before this one, and he did say, Armagh isn't the quickest of courses, and you know, it does have some slight elevation there. However, it's got the atmosphere and it's got the races. And exactly not too dissimilar from Battersea Park here tonight. So we're spread across the road here over on the far side. We're well through that first kilometre. The next time they come around here, and they will be at that 4 kilometre mark, and this is where Lucy Jones had that 10-20 metre lead on India Ware, who then was able just to reel her back in over the last kilometre of this one. So these men really fighting for position, fighting for a clean run. There's not a breath of wind tonight. It really isn't. Andy Fyfe is another man. 13.50, his lifetime best. And he's been in fine form actually, so look out for him. He's in that pack at some point. But just here, for the first time, we're seeing him sneak up on the outside. Beagle Curtin, it's a man to look out for. That's 61.44 half marathon. He is perhaps one of the most comfortable over the half marathon, Fearghal Curtin. He's the fastest by quite some margin as well. He's just looking to start pressing. James Steve's done a great job with him. And I know he really doubled down and committed to his craft, and there's big aspirations for the marathon. And have another crack at that over the next few months as well. So you see here, I think there was about 4 or 5 men who could realistically attack that 13:45. Whether they do it tonight or not, time will tell. I made quite the mistake. Look at this thing, Henry Hart, and it must be fairly modest in that pack. I made the mistake in the women's race saying how controlled it was. They went on to smash that course record. Perhaps there's just a lot of men feeling good tonight. However, the tall Belgrave figure, like I said, knows his park better than anyone. Continues to just power along. Very, very intelligent man. Dials down on those 1% as well in this sport. So Henry Hart dragging these men through this opening, 2 kilometres now. That's 2K hit in about, well, I'd make it just a tick over 5.5 minutes. So these men that would suggest a 14:10 tempo, which isn't crazy for a lot of these guys, but the way Kavanagh likes to run, seriously negative splits. He's unbeaten, by the way, on British soil in 2025. Here's Kavanagh. He did get second at Armstrong, obviously over in Northern Ireland for that one. So on English soil, I should be corrected. Fearghal Curtin looking relaxed in there. Matt Merrick, another man on the outside in that red singlet, that red Adidas singlet, sub 14 minutes over in Armagh. When we talk about those comparisons, 150, sub 15. So still plenty of men in this one. Henry Hart drags him round. Lap 1. Coming up here, so that's just 200k run. 6:39 on the clock. Now Matt Merrick, besides he's had enough, and he's going to just squeeze it down this long straight, heading up to the bandstand and that archway, coming into that final lap, and actually he's got a metre or 2 on the pack. However, it's a dangerous position to be in, isn't it? We all know how this sport works, and you've got to be able to kind of be strong enough to sustain that push the whole way, but he's here for one reason, and that's the challenge for a lifetime best, 13:57 as I mentioned. So, he's doing a fine job so far. So Merrick's still leading. Kavanagh's now going to give chase. It's where he likes to be. The man from Holland AC Sports. He's done a lot of Surrey leagues over the winter. He did compete over the cross country. However, surprised not to see him step up to a national level event. You would have thought the national cross might have taken his fancy, but he's got a grand old plan, him and Neil Downby, and they are very much sticking to it. And I know last year he didn't do any BMCs. That will be the next level up for him this year. But he did perform at many of these podium events, a couple second places, couple wins as well. That first one coming in Dulwich. But Merrick is looking smooth. And this is where he's going to want to be. Joe Wigfield. Just waking those legs up. Right on the heels of Kavanagh. 3 of the smoothest runners this side of the river tonight. There's not many have graced this park with such finesse. There we are, 8:20 at 3K then. So we are back on sub 14 minute tempo. If Jeff Jerwood on the sidelines is correct, and these 3 starting to pull away. Fearghal Curtin, questions being asked to him back and forth. He's going to have 100 other men on his shoulder, battling around for a lifetime best. So that's the last of the tight turns. Much more of a gradual left-hand turn into that finishing straight. Here goes Kavanagh then. 190 on his bib, just squeezing. Wigfield has been there all race long on his shoulder. And Kavanagh's used to having it his own way actually, especially on this park. He came here, conquered Battersea in September. That was a bit of a feeler. And speaking to his coach again, sort of said, I'm going to come here, I'm going to experience what it's like. And I'm after Jack Rowe's record. That record dating back to 2021. That was when Friday Night Under Lights in its infancy. The summer, just post-COVID, Rowe just taking it by storm. And I mentioned this event is one hell of a platform for so many athletes like Kavanagh, like Wigfield. Just come out here, prove themselves. And it takes little wins on the way to really change the forecast of your ceiling in this sport. So Kavanagh, Wigfield, Merrick in third. It looks like Fearghal Curtin is pulling away now for fourth. These four men, them against them over this last kilometre or so. We're coming into it now. 10 minutes on the clock, so if we can have a sub 3 minute kilometre, we're going to be sub 14 minutes. By how much? Course record of 13:36. McCluckey, by the way, came here last year. Kavanagh was second on that occasion. And McCluckey broke clear, continued to pile on the pressure. Kavanagh hunted him down late on, ran out of road, just missed 14 minutes. Whereas McCluckey nipped inside 13:57. Quite the opposite tonight. Kavanagh's a man who's going to have to squeeze. Did a lot of his training solo. And does a fine job in that. Very, very precise in what he does. And he'll know. And this is how he likes to race. And he's just now started to ask the question of Joe Wigfield. Couple rounds in the 800 on the weekend. Just to be honest, fine margins. If you like, missing out on that European Indoor Championships. How his week could have looked a lot different. How do you manage to finish just a couple places up the road on Saturday? However, he's here, and you've got to give credit to Wigfield. He always turns out. I mentioned Lucy Jones, a figure who just has amazing range and could just do it all. Wigfield, very similar. Racing turns that man on, and he's here tonight in Battersea Park. And he's beginning to put the pressure on. So Kavanagh, a second, a first, and can he go for a brace of wins here in Battersea Park in a Friday night under the lights setting? He's starting now just to ease clear. We're well into the final kilometre, ladies and gentlemen. We're 11 or so minutes on the clock, 12 minutes in fact, and we're coming into that last 400 metres. We know once they make that turn, once they pass that finish line, it's 266 metres to go. How far can he go? There's his coach Newark down beyond the side, instructing a big finish. That's what he had in Armagh. Once again, ran out of road. He's not going to run out of road here tonight. He might run out of time, but he is absolutely destroying Wigfield there in second place. And just listen to that.
Let's go, Jack.
That is a man who is full of fitness, in total control of what he's doing. He knows his limits, and he's now, for the first time, just beginning to search for something inside him. He's going to need it over this last 250 metres. He's going to come into the straight here. The race is done. Quite frankly, Wigfield is going to come under pressure from the likes of Merrick and Fearghal Curtin. 13 on the clock. Whoa, can he do it, ladies and gentlemen? He's going to be inside 14. By how much? It would be something if he covered that last 250 in 35 or so seconds. He's got to keep going. Jack Kavanagh continues to win at these podium events. He continues to impress. And quite frankly, he's going to be a name to watch this summer. I don't care who you are. Take note of this one, ladies and gentlemen, because he has destroyed it once again, and he's done it over that final 2 kilometres. Kavanagh for the win in Battersea Park. Dominates in second here, Wigfield, with an accomplished run off the back of a tough weekend. And Fearghal Curtin's going to take third. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, your top 3 across the line. Merrick comes across, fading back a little further. Nolan and co. How many men can we get inside? 14, 15 or so. They continue to pour across the line. And that wraps up another stellar night here in the park.
Ashley, good job mate, well done.